Today, I'm here with Colby Marshall, and we're going to be talking about Barrie, Orillia, and Wasaga Beach.
Today, we're going to touch on quite a few different things. We'll do some stats. We got a quick zoning bylaw update in Orillia. They're allowing 4 units per lot. Exciting stuff coming up in Orillia. We got a quick Wasaga Beach update, some big developments going on there. Couple active deals, what our opportunities are in the space that we're looking at. I think we're having some similar market trends that, if I'm right, could really put us into some COVID pricing here in the very near future. Every time Trump says the word tariff, it drops the bond market, which drops the fixed rates. So we're really gearing up to get some big numbers going here. Wasaga Beach announced a little while ago they're going to be redoing their whole Beach 1 area. Brand new hotels, commercial, residential, entire beachfront. It's going to change the game of Wasaga Beach, 4-unit conversion. So we're basically picking up properties around the mid 7s to 800,000. We're targeting larger 2-story homes around 3,000 square feet with double car garages. We're creating 4plexes with unit mixes of 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and 1 bedrooms. We're bringing in between $9,000 and $10,000 a month in income in these new 4plexes. ARVs between 1.5 and 1.6, and they're only going to go up from here with these lowering interest rates.
Welcome back to the Canadian Real Estate Channel. I'm Adam J.D. Martin, your host, and today I'm here with Colby Marshall, and we're going to be talking about Barrie, Orillia, and Wasaga Beach. We've got a ton of updates for you about zoning. We've got some updates for you about recent developments in those areas, and we've also got some live deals and a networking event for you guys to attend. So please stick around as we jump into the March update. Colby, how are you today?
Hey guys, yeah, we're back with the March market update, and you can smell the opportunity in the air. The snow is melting, interest rates are dropping, and the real estate market's just starting to get going. Basically, want to get started just introducing ourselves. I'm Colby Marshall with the Colby Marshall Real Estate Team. We're now working at a RE/MAX Hallmark Che here in Barrie, one of the largest brokerages in Simcoe County. We also run a complete construction company, MCIS, Marshall's Complete Investment Solutions, and we run a turnkey program, everything to do with real estate. We do everything from acquisition, design, build, anything that you'd like, from single family homes, semi-detached homes, up to 10, 12, 15 plexes. We're getting into that space now as well. So we're your one-stop shop in Simcoe County for anything to do with multifamily real estate. Today we're going to touch on quite a few different things. We'll do some stats for Barrie, Orillia, Wasaga Beach to start, find out what's going on there. We got a quick zoning bylaw update in Orillia. They're allowing 4 units per lot. Exciting stuff coming up in Orillia. We got a quick Wasaga Beach update, some big developments going on there. You'll want to stay tuned for that. Couple active deals, what our opportunities are in the space that we're looking at. And, we are ramping up for some in-person networking events, some education bus tours. We're going to give a quick plug on that at the end. So if you're ready to tap into this hot spring market, then stay to the end, and we can also help you with the education side so you know what you're getting yourself into. We service the Simcoe County area, which includes Barrie, Orillia, Wasaga Beach, Innisfil, ESSA. This is a whole map of Simcoe. Primary markets we're going to talk about today are Barrie right here around the water, and Orillia up a little further north, about 20 minutes up the highway. And we also have Wasaga Beach, which is also on the water, different body of water, Georgian Bay. Those are the 3 primary areas that we like to target, and we'll get into the statistics on that right away. So we'll start off here with Barrie. Barrie is the primary center. Everything happens here first. So when the market gets going hot in Toronto, we're about 2 or 3 months behind Toronto, and then Wasaga Beach and Orillia are about 2 or 3 months behind Barrie. So we'll start with big old Barrie, see what's going on here. So the charts that we have here today are 5-year charts. I wanted to change these up. Usually we do past 12 months, but with everything going on with the tariffs, the interest rates dropping on the variable side and the fixed side, I really wanted to compare this time in history way back when COVID was a thing. So we want to compare this. I think we're having some similar market trends that, if I'm right, could really put us into some COVID pricing here in the very near future. So this is the number of detached listings in Barrie. So you can see COVID started back in around January 2021. You can see how the listings went to almost nothing very quickly. No one knew what was going on. And then from there, the market started to take off a little bit. And that segment there of when the market started to take off first after COVID is basically where we're at right now for the amount of listings. So if you think about that, the amount of listings is starting to compare to what was going on during COVID times. And when listings were this low, the prices really took off. So, we've got 4 feet of snow still melting away here in Barrie. So I think, some of the seasonalities and stuff that's been going on has held up the spring market. But if you look at these numbers, you can really see that, we're really ramping up for an extremely hot market coming up. And I think that every time the Trump says the word tariff, it drops the bond market, which drops the fixed rates. We just got another quarter-point announcement reduction today from the Bank of Canada. So we're really gearing up to get some big numbers going here. The average sale price of detached homes, if you look at this chart here, again, back during COVID, 2021, we're just passing those levels again here. This is an important chart as well, because if you look about 3 months ago, it's been the lowest price that we've seen in Barrie since the interest rate reductions. So if you look there, everyone looking for the bottom, I think you can see it, and it was about 3 months ago. Prices are starting to climb now. So I think, we've seen the bottom. We're coming out of the trough now, and prices are starting to pick up. And, once the spring market starts with these low inventory that we have and then nice new interest rates, I think things are going to get pretty wild.
Yeah, I think just based on that chart, you'd kind of expect it to go right to those June numbers that are sort of the peak there.
Hmm.
And so, even just looking at that delta, I'd say there's quite a bit of room for, not that you want to be speculating, but now could be a great time to buy in terms of like, if you think that in the near future it's going to peak there, that sounds great, especially if you're getting into a quick flip or something like that, where you're going to buy a property, renovate it, and then go and try and refinance it. You want to be refinancing at the peak there so your appraisals are good and strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've seen the bottom of the trough. We're starting to come out of it. And again, once we've got some 13-degree days coming up here in Barrie, and once these snowbanks go away, there's some more confidence in what you're actually buying. You can see the grass, the roof, your backyard. Everything's just
Yeah.
been covered. We just got pummeled with snow. So I think, people are out and about now. The sun's shining, the snow's melting. People are happy again. They're not miserable. It's, the market's starting to move, that's for sure. So
That's awesome.
let's take a look at Orillia. So Orillia, again, we mentioned that it is about 20 minutes north of Barrie, and it also usually lags Barrie by about 3 months. So we just said that about 3 months ago, Barrie was at the bottom of the trough. So now if we look at what we're looking at here in Orillia, it's about 3 months behind Barrie. So I'm going to assume that we're probably at the bottom of the trough, at the very bottom in Orillia currently right now. And it's going to start to come up as well. So if you look at the number of active listings compared to now to, back when COVID was around, we're pretty close to being even with what was going on there. So if we're going to see a huge jump similar to like what we're seeing here, the market's going to be picking up pretty quick, and I think it's going to be pretty hot. Average sale price, again, we're 3 months behind Barrie. So this is the dip here, the bottom of the trough that we can see ever since interest rates started changing. We can see that this has been quite a good dip. So I think that, during the spring, we're going to see a huge influx in pricing, especially with those lower amounts of listings. So if you're thinking at all, call us, get plugged in. I think we're going to be ramping up here pretty quick for a real hot market with these interest rate drops. The word tariff keeps coming around. I think every time they talk about it on the news, I just get flashbacks to the same stuff they were saying when COVID started. Supply chain issues, the uncertainty in the market. Some industries are going to be, they're going to get slaughtered, like the manufacturing and stuff like that. They're going to have a tough go. But I think the real estate side, the construction side, all those sectors that have been taking, real kicking for the last 18 months with these interest rate hikes, I think it's going to be their time to shine. And these values you're going to see are going to go back up close to COVID times. So we're under 550 in Orillia. We could be getting back up close to this 800 mark pretty quickly with the low amount of listings because we haven't had any construction going on either. We had a huge housing crisis all over the news everywhere, and construction starts have just pretty well stopped. So we have the housing crisis hasn't went anywhere, just the affordability went away. Now with the affordability back and no one's building homes, the housing crisis is still there. It's going to come back with a vengeance. That's why I'm thinking we're going to see almost that bidding wars like COVID times, and it's going to ramp up really quickly.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see that as the snow melts, like people starting to really come out because we've been saying this for a few months now. Like there was so much pent up supply and demand for the last, several months, I'd say, like all winter. People were sitting on their hands waiting for bank changes, waiting for CMHC changes, zoning changes. There's so many different developments on the move. I think as things settle in here, and again, those bond rates, it's just amazing. What a time.
Oh yeah, and the fact that Doug Ford got in again from the provincial side, he's got another whole term ahead of him now. So anything that he was planning from a larger perspective for Ontario, he just got revoted in, so he can start to push some of those larger ticket items that he's been waiting on.
Yeah.
So all across Ontario, ever since COVID, they're supposed to be doing what's called an MCR, which is a municipal comprehensive review. This was supposed to be done over COVID, which was 4 years ago. It has not been done. So this basically dictates where all the growth in the entire province is supposed to go. So that hasn't been released and was supposed to come out 3 or 4 years ago. So if he actually puts this out or completely changes something for the better, because he's pretty good at keeping up with the housing, we could see that in the next 6 to 12 months. No idea what that's going to look like. But usually, if he's going to put out the growth plans, usually conservative leaders put it in conservative areas, all the growth, and liberal people put it in liberal areas. So Simcoe County is usually blue 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
So if these growth numbers come out, Simcoe County will be getting a good chunk of it, that's for sure. Or if Dougie comes out and does some big Hail Mary and completely changes the game, there's been rumors that he might revert planning back to the heydays of the 80s and the 90s and open up development all across Ontario like it was back in the day, not having these growth areas. Something like that happens, it's going to be a game changer too. So, keep your ear to the ground for Dougie to do a big Hail Mary or those municipal comprehensive review growth numbers coming out. Stay on top of that. If you have any vacant land or anything holdings in that regard around city centers, that's something you really want to be on top of.
Yeah, I think having that stability in the government there is really useful for trying to consider what the future of real estate looks like in Simcoe County.
Yeah. Doug's been pretty good on that front for sure.
Yeah.
So let's look at Wasaga Beach. Number of active listings. So Wasaga Beach has a lot of cottages, waterfront properties on Georgian Bay, beautiful area, and a lot of older demographic there. It's starting to change. They're bringing in some larger industries, the casino and stuff now. So you're getting younger people due to the price point out there as well. But something to look at from the number of active listings. If you follow the chart back to about 12, 14 months, the amount of listings that you see on the market there is really reflective of secondary homes being sold. It looks like there's a whole influx of people selling their secondary homes, and now we're seeing a minimal inventory in that area as well. So you'll see, obviously, when the spring market comes, everything's all looking beautiful, that you'll see more inventory come on the market in the spring. But you can see the whole amount of sales and listings in the last 18 months has been quite substantial, even compared to COVID times, which is a pretty unique chart to see. And the number of listings is almost went down to nothing at this point in time, which is good for people if you're looking to buy in that area, if you get your hands on something. Average sale prices for detached homes, they're starting to creep back up. Again, you can see the little bit of a dip at the end, and prices are starting to push up. So you'll be able to, if you get your hands on something with Wasaga Beach, you can see a huge increase in price in the next little while. So what are the opportunities in Simcoe that we're looking at? Right now, we're doing multifamily conversions in Barrie, Wasaga, Orillia, all these spots. Right now in Orillia, you're only allowed to do 3 units per lot. As of March 27th, which is a couple weeks from now, there's going to be a vote on a zoning bylaw amendment and an official plan amendment for Orillia, allowing 4 units per lot. This is great. So any lot in Orillia will be allowed to have 4 units if this passes the next 2 weeks. There's a 90% chance that it's going to pass, should be breeze right through. Just make sure you're aware of what is entailed and what is required for 4 units per lot. If you want to learn about what the requirements are for 4 units per lot, we're going to have a whole in-person networking event at the end of this month that we'll talk about later in this video. If you want to come out and learn about it, we'll be holding a whole seminar on it. The good thing about the 4 units per lot from a new build perspective is you can get 100% of your HST back for your developments. So if you're building semi fourplexes or detached fourplexes from scratch, you are eligible for 100% of the HST back. So if you're building $500,000 units or what have you, you can get all of that HST back. Fourplexes, you're probably 1.2 million to build it, something like that. Think about all that HST that you can put right back in your pocket to help finance your build. It's a huge rebate that you can get. So 4 units is going to help development big time in Orillia, and we're going to have a class on it at the end of the month. Stay tuned for details on that. Wasaga Beach. So Wasaga Beach announced a little while ago that they have linked up with Fram Developments. So they are going to be redoing their whole Beach 1 area. So they're talking about brand new hotels,
Wow.
commercial, residential, the whole Beach 1, the beautiful area where Bananas was, and all those bars and shops and everything right on the beautiful beach of Wasaga Beach. They're redoing the entire beachfront. It's going to change the game of Wasaga Beach. It's changed the demographic of the people going there, and their money's just going to be flowing in. They have cleaned house on their council, and a lot of the city workers have turned over. It used to be a bit of an old boys club in Wasaga Beach. The last 2 or 3 years has been a whole new council, a lot of new city employees. In addition to that, they are going through the process, same as Barrie is currently as well. They are redoing their official plan, redoing their zoning bylaw. They're going to be open for business. A lot more densities coming in the near future. So if we can get your hands on some of these big old cottage lots now, we're doing some land severances up there with the big old cottage lots, renovations, tear downs, rebuilds. If you want to be in that area, if you want, build 1 unit for yourself, rent out the other couple. We have a lot of people doing that in this beautiful area. You're close to Georgian Bay's pretty well walking distance everywhere. You've got Blue Mountain right around the corner. There's a casino there. We're pushing a lot of people to go to Wasaga Beach. The price points are great, and everybody just wants to be there now. So if you're looking in that area, give us a call as well. We'll be touching base more on all of what this means for Wasaga at our in-person event at the end of the month as well. So again, if you're interested in anything to do with Simcoe County, come on out and to our networking and education event. So here are the details here now. We're going to have the event in the comments. I'm sorry, the link in the comments here. So it's going to be on March 25th, 6 to 9 o'clock. Very casual. We'll be probably doing an hour and a half presentation on what's going on more in depth in Barrie, Orillia, Wasaga Beach. It is in a high-end Irish pub, so we'll have some nice appetizers out. There'll be opportunity for some beverages if you'd like as well. Very casual, so a little bit of a learning presentation and then some networking thereafter. So March 25th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 31 Bayfield Street, right at 5 Points in Barrie. Really hope to see you there. The details will be in the comments. The other educational event that we are going to be doing is a bus tour. So the end of May, I know it's a little far out, but we're going to be doing a bus tour May 31st. We're going to have an in-class portion and then go do a tour on the bus so you can see live builds, live deals, and you can put in offers that day if you want. We usually end up selling a couple properties every time we do the bus tour. So if that's something that interests you, we can educate you in at the end of March. Come do the bus tour in May. You'll really know what's going on in the Simcoe County area, and we'll have a great time on it. And we always have a good turnout and lots of learning for everybody.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't stress enough how important it is to get out to these networking events. I've met people that I've done business there in terms of partners on JVs. I've met lenders there. I've done lending on bus tours. Things like that cannot be understated. I mean, I think it's one of the most important things you can do as a real estate investor or potential buyer.
Yeah, oh yeah, just talking with other investors, especially with uncertainty in the market, what are they doing? How did they make it through the last 18
Yeah.
months? Just swapping war stories with the other investors. You can gain a lot of knowledge that way, and maybe a different way of doing what you did. Not even just learning from the trainers and stuff like that, but other investors as well is huge.
Yeah.
So I
Deals.
want to go over one of our models that we're targeting. We touched on this model before, so it's the 4-unit conversion. This is based on Barrie pricing. Orillia is relatively the same when it comes to fruition here in the next couple of weeks. So we're basically picking up properties around the mid sevens to 800,000. We're targeting larger 2-story homes around 3,000 square feet with double car garages. We're creating 4-plexes with unit mixes of 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and 1 bedrooms. You're looking at renos between 415,000 plus your servicing plus your development charges. So around 500 grand that we can renovate one of these beautiful 30-year-old buildings into a legal 4-plex for you. We also can tie into some construction financing. So if some of these numbers look pretty daunting, we can actually get you into some of these deals for almost 250 to 350,000, depending on the price point, the amount of work that needs to be done. So if something like this interests you, we're bringing in between $9,000 and $10,000 a month in income in these new 4-plexes. ARVs between 1.5 and 1.6, and they're only going to go up from here with these lowering interest rates. So if any of these interest you, definitely reach out. The other big part of what we're doing is new builds from the ground up, the semi-triplexes and 4-plexes, 6 or 8-plex buildings as well. We have quite a few clients in that space. If any of that interests you in the Simcoe County area, feel free to reach out. We are registered Terrion builders, so we can do the conversions like this or do it right from the ground up if that's something that would interest you.
That's awesome. And just based on those, how you actually do these, right? You're separating all the utilities. The tenants would be paying for all utilities and things like that.
Yeah, so as of January, we have to have independent heating and cooling systems for
Yep.
every unit. So even if you're doing a duplex, make sure you know your numbers because you have to separate the heating and cooling systems. There's not allowed any mixing of air anymore between units. So we basically will come in, we'll gut this entire house. You'll have 4 gas meters, 4 hydro meters. So tenants are paying all their own utilities. And we're also looking into private water metering as well. So hopefully being able to put the water meter on the tenants as well. So, they're not running up your bills. And the good thing about the tenants paying the bills is the cost of your electricity, gas, and water goes up all the time. So not only are you allowed to put your rent up your 2% per year or what have you, if they're paying their own utility bills, they're also experiencing the increase, which is a little added
Yeah.
benefit to you that it's going up as well, that you're not paying that bill as well. So that's definitely some added value there. But yeah, complete heating and cooling systems independent for each unit, and the tenants are getting some nice big units. Like you're thinking this is a 3,000 square foot 2-story. Each floor is 1,000 square feet. So we'll have 3-bedroom, 1,000 square foot unit on each floor. If you think about the duplex craze back in the day, 1,000 square foot bungalows, 3 up, 2 down, were what people were putting everywhere. The double car garage is where we put the 4th unit, so you can get a nice 1-bedroom in the double car garage, which is usually 430 to 500 square feet.
That's awesome. And just like napkin math on this should cash flow like, I don't know, 500, $1,000 a month, just based on the
Yeah.
tenants paying for everything. And, your taxes won't be that crazy. And that's really your only expense here outside of insurance. So
Hmm.
once you factor in like a mortgage, rates are dropping. I'd say this is probably $1,000 a month, just like off the top of my head. So
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
after you refi, pull most of your capital back out of this project, we're usually experiencing $700 to $1,200 a month
Yeah.
cash flow after all expenses and property management and maintenance is calculated in. So that's property manager to manage your tenants, and we also calculate in for grass cutting and snow removal as well in our 4-plex space. So usually the buildings are averaging after everything's paid for anywhere from $700 to $1,200 a month after you get almost all of your money back. If you're doing the 4-plex space, you're getting all your HST and you can defer your DCs as well. So if you take all that into consideration, you should be able to get all your capital back and go on to the next one. So with all these little incentives that the cities and the federal governments are throwing at us, if you can hit this 4-plex number, it's a huge help for sure.
That's awesome. Thanks, Colby.
Another live deal that, again, is a model that we're looking at. There are quite a few larger bungalows that have been sitting for a while that no one's been picking up. They're listed around the $800,000 price point. We'll be cutting these into 4 units. This one's almost a walkout basement. So you'll have 4 3-bedroom apartments in this bungalow. It's on a nice corner lot. So you'll have parking off from the side and from the front. It's in a great premium area. Your renovation budget, you're almost up 600,000 on this huge bungalow. With your ARVs and everything, you'll get all of that capital back, and your total rent coming in will be almost $10,000 a month, plus all the utilities, and you'll be experiencing that cash flow that we just talked about as well. And you'll have a brand new turnkey investment that'll be redone top to bottom. We're not saving anything in these buildings. We're gutting it right back to the studs. So you won't have to worry about anything for 15, 20 years until things start to break down and things like that. So it's a nice turnkey investment we can create for you that you can just plug into our system. We'll find the properties that qualify. We have a whole design team. We have a whole construction team as well on the other end. So it's a seamless end-to-end system. And we have property managers that we work with in the area. So you can just open up your email once a month and your money's in the bank. And it's a turnkey system just to plug into.
That's awesome. On that note, guys, I actually got a referral from Colby for a property manager for a building I own in Stainer, and fantastic. Her name is Rachel, and she does fantastic work for me. And literally, it's just that I pick up the phone once a month. She sends me a statement of what was collected and takes her fee, which is fantastic. Anything that I've needed, I just send a text, and it's just done. Like I sent a checkup text. Hey, how did that one thing go? She's like, dude, that was done a week ago. I emailed you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I do have 70,000 unread emails. True. I missed that. And she's just getting things done. And it's so fantastic to have. And her rate's like 8%, and it's worth literally every single penny. So thank you, Colby, for that referral.
Yeah, no
But
problem.
truly, I can attest to the turnkey nature of that because I'm living, 3,500 kilometers away from this building, and I haven't had to worry a single minute about it. So thanks again for that. And that's the power of networking right there.
Yeah, no problem. And it also makes your business scalable, right? So if you wanted 10 of these buildings, you don't want to be dealing with all the tenants all the time. You want to be off, gallivanting the world or what have you, then you have boots on the ground when you're not here. And then you can scale the business quicker too, because you're not worrying about the little stuff. They're doing their job and you're looking at the next deal, the next property. With
Yep.
these numbers here, like this is almost the perfect BRRRR is almost back with these fourplex conversions. You're getting almost all of your capital back. So, if you're interested in this, the perfect BRRRR might be in the Barrie area with these fourplex conversions. So come
Yep.
on down and come out to our networking event on the 25th, and we hope to see you guys there. And again, you can get into some of these deals with around 250 to 350,000, depending on your situation. We have a team of mortgage brokers that helps you through every step of the way. They specialize in these types of financing, the construction financing, the future value appraisals, all the steps needed to get as little of your own money in this deal, but just enough to make it work is what we're going to do for you, and our team can make happen for you. So I want to touch on construction financing a little bit. The banks will literally lend on the future value, the dream we're going to present to you of what that building will look like. We'll get future value appraisals. They're shaken out between 1.4, 1.6, 1.7 potentially, depending on how big these units are for these fourplexes. And that is something that you can take to the bank literally. They'll say, when we're done, this house is going to be worth $1.6 million. The bank will then lend you 80% of that 1.6 million to do your entire project. You're going to even have enough money to borrow from them to pay them back with their own money. Pay the interest back with their own money is the way that we like to structure things. So you're not paying every month out of pocket while you're doing this. It's getting stressed out. We made this as stress-free as possible, and we're doing this for multiple clients in our own portfolios. We're doing this all day, every day. We've been doing it for the last decade. So if this is something that interests you, again, come reach out, and we'll be more than happy to plug you into our turnkey system here in Simcoe County.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So we do everything to do with real estate. We'll do second suite conversions, triplex conversions, multifamily conversions, fourplexes. We've done lot severances, infill developments, land assemblies for mid-rise buildings, high-rise buildings, townhouse sites. We've done it all. So if you're interested in anything, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help. And it's been great being on this channel once again.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Colby. I really appreciate you coming on the channel. I love the news, especially the Wasaga Beach news. I cannot wait to see that get revitalized and see the capital flow all around Simcoe County because of those types of updates. It was great to see that casino in. Before that, even, it was great to see that highway come in, kind of connecting everything together, making it a lot easier to travel through there. I love you bringing in these deals. I think we can make sense of these numbers very quickly off the top of our heads and see how you could do a BRRRR. And then at the end of the day, also get some cash flow while taking advantage of a great financial product that gives you that liquidity that you need. Because real estate's generally not a profitability problem. It's a cash flow management problem.
Yeah.
And so
absolutely.
It's great to see solutions like that. And again, I've used your personal referrals and it's worked out really great for me. So really happy to have you here on the channel. I know that anybody watching this can get a ton of value out of you and your team. So I'd encourage anybody watching this, go to these meetups, just see who's there, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking for deals, you're looking for talent, you're looking for money, they're usually in those types of rooms and they're usually available to talk. So if there's something you need to learn or something you have to teach, these are fantastic opportunities to get yourself out there. So Colby, thanks again, and we'll see you back here next month on the Canadian Real Estate
Yeah, we'll
Channel.
see you then. Thanks for having me.